Alexandra had always been a curious person, and she loved to explore the hidden corners of her small town. One day, while hiking through the woods, she came across a clearing where a group of women dressed in black were gathered. They were performing a ritual, chanting and dancing around a large bonfire. Alexandra was fascinated and wanted to learn more about this mysterious group. Over the next few weeks, Alexandra did some research and discovered that the women she had seen were part of a secret society of witches. She became obsessed with finding out more about them, and eventually, she was able to track down their leader, a woman named Serafina. Serafina was a beautiful woman with long, dark hair and piercing green eyes. She welcomed Alexandra into her home, and over the course of several weeks, she taught Alexandra about the craft of witchcraft. Alexandra was a quick learner, and soon she was able to cast spells and perform rituals with ease. As she became more involved in the coven, Alexandra realized that they were not just a group of women practicing their craft in secret. They were also involved in other activities, such as smuggling and extortion. Alexandra knew that she had to make a decision: should she continue to be part of the coven and risk being associated with their illegal activities, or should she expose them to the world? Just as Alexandra was struggling with her decision, a twist of fate occurred. Serafina's husband, who had been missing for years, suddenly returned to town. He was furious when he found out that his wife had been running a secret society of witches and that they had been involved in criminal activities. He threatened to expose the coven to the authorities unless they paid him a large sum of money. Serafina knew that they had no choice but to comply, and she turned to Alexandra for help. Alexandra was torn between her loyalty to the coven and her moral compass, but in the end, she decided to help Serafina and her coven. Together, they came up with a plan to catch Serafina's husband and put an end to his blackmail. They set a trap, and when he fell into it, they were able to turn the tables on him. They exposed him as a fraud and a criminal, and he was arrested by the police. After the incident, Alexandra realized that she could no longer be part of the coven. She had seen the dark side of their activities, and she knew that she couldn't continue to be involved in criminal activities. She said goodbye to Serafina and the other members of the coven, and she returned to her normal life. Years later, Alexandra was happy with her decision. She had moved to a new town, where she had a successful career and a loving family. But she would always remember the time she spent with the secret society of witches, and the difficult decision she had to make. She knew that she had made the right choice, even though it had been a difficult one. As a young girl, Emily had always felt different from her peers. She had an unexplainable pull towards the world of magic and the unknown. She found herself studying and practicing witchcraft in secret, afraid of being shunned by her family and friends. But one day, she discovered that she was not alone. She stumbled upon a hidden school for witches, located deep within a forest. The school was a place of magic and wonder, where young witches could learn and hone their craft in secret. Emily was thrilled to have found a place where she could freely study and practice her craft without fear of judgment. The school was run by an elderly witch named Agatha, who had a reputation for being strict but fair. Emily quickly immersed herself in her studies, eager to learn as much as she could. But as she delved deeper into her studies, Emily began to uncover a sinister plot. She discovered that Agatha was secretly experimenting with dark magic in hopes of achieving ultimate power. Emily tried to confront Agatha about her dark practices, but Agatha dismissed her concerns and warned her not to interfere. Despite Agatha's warning, Emily was determined to stop her from using dark magic. She knew that she had to act fast, before Agatha's experiments spiraled out of control. Emily rallied her fellow students, and together they came up with a plan to stop Agatha. They knew that it was risky, but they also knew that it was the only way to protect the school and the world of magic from Agatha's evil intentions. The night of the plan, Emily and her friends waited in hiding as Agatha conducted her latest experiment. Emily watched in horror as Agatha summoned a powerful demon, intending to control it for her own purposes. But the demon proved too strong for Agatha to control. It broke free from her grasp and began wreaking havoc, threatening to destroy everything in its path. Emily knew that they had to act fast, and so she summoned her own magic and fought the demon. It was a fierce battle, but Emily emerged victorious. The demon was vanquished and Agatha was defeated. Emily and her friends breathed a sigh of relief, knowing that they had saved the school and the world of magic from certain doom. But the victory was short-lived, as Emily soon learned that Agatha was not the only one experimenting with dark magic. She discovered that there were other schools of magic, each with their own agenda, and each posing a threat to the world of magic. Emily knew that she had to continue fighting for what was right. She had to protect the world of magic from those who sought to use it for evil. And so she continued her studies, determined to become a powerful witch and protector of the world of magic. As she looked out into the horizon, Emily knew that the road ahead would be long and dangerous. But she was ready for whatever challenges lay ahead, knowing that she had the power of magic on her side. As a young girl, Esme always felt a connection to nature and the elements. She could sense the energy of the earth and feel the power of the wind in her bones. She was fascinated by the mysteries of the world and the magic that seemed to surround her. When she turned 18, she discovered that she was a witch. She had always suspected it, but now she had proof. She was invited to attend a secret school for witches, hidden deep in the forest, where she could learn to harness her powers and develop her skills. The school was run by a wise and powerful witch named Morgana, who quickly became a mentor and role model to Esme. Morgana taught her everything she knew about magic and helped her to develop her own unique style and strengths. Esme quickly excelled in her studies and became one of the top students in her class. She was ambitious and driven, determined to become the best which she could be. But her ambition came at a cost. As Esme became more powerful, she began to see her fellow students as rivals. She resented their successes and envied their talents. She became obsessed with being the best, even if it meant sacrificing her friendships and morals. One day, Morgana called Esme to her office. She had noticed Esme's behavior and was concerned about her growing arrogance and ambition. She warned Esme that magic was not about competition or power, but about balance and harmony. She urged her to remember the importance of kindness and compassion, even in the face of success. Esme was angry and defensive. She felt that Morgana was holding her back and stifling her potential. She stormed out of Morgana's office, determined to prove her wrong. But as she continued to pursue her goals, Esme began to realize that Morgana was right. She had become so consumed by her own ambition that she had lost sight of what really mattered. She had hurt her friends and betrayed her own values in pursuit of power. One day, Esme stumbled upon a dark and powerful spell that promised to give her unlimited power and control. She was tempted to use it, to become the most powerful witch in the world. But just as she was about to cast the spell, she was struck by a sudden realization. She didn't need unlimited power or control to be happy. She didn't need to be the best to be fulfilled. All she needed was to find balance and harmony within herself and with the world around her. With this newfound clarity, Esme abandoned the dark spell and apologized to her friends for her behavior. She worked hard to regain their trust and to rebuild her relationships. She embraced Morgana's teachings and became a true witch, using her powers for good and striving for balance and harmony in all aspects of her life. As she walked through the forest, feeling the cool breeze on her face and the earth beneath her feet, Esme knew that she had found her true purpose. She was a witch, but more than that, she was a student of the world, always learning and growing, always seeking balance and harmony.